Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Media News, the headlines. Opposition PF MPs walk out of Parliament. Stakeholders castigate government for blackmailing people to get COVID-19 vaccines. Join me with the details after this commercial.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the...
She has so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
And now the media news in detail. Over 4,000 traders have staged a protest in Lusaka demanding answers over the alleged sale of Munyaule market situated next to Lusaka City Market. Traders who sought audience with the Ministry of Local Government have alleged that plans are underway to move them from Munyaule Market to Simon Mwalem Market to facilitate liaising of Munyaule Market. They have since called on the local government and rural development minister, Gary Nkombo, to intervene in the matter.
The news of alleged sale and demolition of the Munyaule market of Lusaka has not settled well with these affected marketeers operating at the said market. Tuesday, traders have taken it to the streets, demanding answers from the government to give guidance on the issue. They have alleged that plans are underway to move them from Munyaule Market to Simon Mwalem Market, which they claim is already fully booked by other prospect traders.
Second, bakamba kuti tichoka pano pa Munyaule mashop yali 400 shops. Pa Munyaule pali mashop almost 2,000 something. 4,000. But Boma council ametusunga kuja kamba kuti zachoka 400. Manje ababena bazaenda kuti.
They were at Lusaka Civic Center where they sought an audience with Lusaka Town Clerk Mr. Alex Mwansa, proved an exercise in futility as they advanced to the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Offices to seek Honorable Gary Nkombo's audience. After a lengthy closed-door meeting with the minister, when asked what transpired in the meeting, the marketeers' representatives assured that all is well as the minister establishes facts around this controversial transaction.
The government has a very good plan for the people because that was our move. We wanted to hear the truth. So that plan, the grant that they want to give even those people that are on the market that have been trading without offer letters, it is a very good strategy. Let's just organize ourselves. This issue of getting this story, it won't help us. Let's unite. The only thing that has made us not to reach where we've reached is because we lacked cooperation. Thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Clinton Bui.
So is the demolition story invalid or valid?
It is invalid. It is invalid as at now. The local government has further clarification according to the local government.
However, some traders have expressed disappointment in the results of the meeting as they wanted to be addressed by the minister himself to give a proper guidance.
If we wanted the minister to come and address us, to tell us exactly where this issue of demolish came from, why they want to demolish the market.
Meanwhile, both the town clerk and Minister of Local Government and Rural Development had not directly addressed the traders, to the point the traders were escorted back to the market by the men in uniform. Alex Shimba, Camnet News in Lusaka.
Government has denied infringing on the rights of its citizens through the COVID-19 health guidelines put in place. Updating the nation on the COVID-19 situation Tuesday, Health Minister Silva Masebo says government is on a track in making sure that its citizens are protected. Meanwhile, Africa Center for Diseases Prevention and Control Africa CDC Regional Coordinator Dr. Lou Riek has advised members of the public to trust the government and get vaccinated to curb the spread of the COVID-19.
Threats of the COVID-19 fourth wave have continued to heighten for many countries, Zambia inclusive, especially that South Africa, one of Zambia's biggest trading partner, has recorded some cases of the Omicron virus. Surveillance to prevent this outbreak has been enforced with new measures being put in place by the ministry responsible for health, which took effect Tuesday, 29th November 2021. Among them, that no one will be allowed to enter public building without a vaccination certificate, which people feel is indirectly making vaccination mandatory against their wish. According to government's plan, this will help prevent the COVID-19 severe outbreak if at least 70% of the people are vaccinated, which currently stands at only less than 10%. However, the Ministry of Health has defended its stance.
I want the Zambian people, first of all, to understand that the measures that we put in place as a ministry are firstly and most importantly meant to protect the people themselves. They're not for us, they're for the people. We sit here in these public offices on behalf of the people to see, to understand and to assess the situation. And no responsible government will stay away and shy away from taking a decision. So the decisions we take, and all in your best interests as a people. You will recall that during the third wave, a lot of our dear ones died.
COVID-19 advisor to the president, Professor Roma Chilengi, says people should consider COVID-19 vaccine as any other vaccine, such as tuberculosis vaccines.
We are going to have very specific Zambian data that informs us after how long, when somebody attains substantial immunity, is the immune system beginning to wane, at which point you might want to then give a booster dose to maintain that immune response. So the short answer to the question, Honorable Minister, is that yes, we are continuing to do research, and this type of research, we call it operational research, because the vaccines are already in public use. And so the research is going on, and we are generating Zambian data that will be very relevant for informing policy.
Meanwhile, Africa Center for Disease Prevention and Control Regional Coordinator has asked the members of the public to trust the government and get vaccinated so as to curb the spread of the virus.
You need to trust the Minister of Health, you need to trust the National Public Health Institute, you need to trust the regulation system, that they are doing everything possible to ensure that any vaccine that is coming into this country is safe. Equally, the African CDC has assembled the best scientists, not only just in Zambia, but in whole Africa. If you could recall, this Omicron variant, it was not reported in Britain, it was not reported in the US, it was reported in South Africa.
Zambia is expected to be hit by the fourth wave of the COVID-19 new variant Omicron by December 2021. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Movement for Multi-Party Democracy President Dr. Nevas Mumba has challenged government to prove to the Zambian people that the COVID-19 vaccines are safe for human consumption. Speaking when he featured on Camnet TV National Matters program Monday, Dr. Mumba says people need to know what is getting into their bodies as well as have enough information about the new Omicron variant. He states that government should not consider making COVID-19 vaccination mandatory, as this would mean that government is overstepping its boundaries. Dr. Mumba adds that the implication of some of the measures given in the fight against COVID-19 has a potential only to protect the people that are fully vaccinated.
We need to have another. It's an ongoing thing. So it is important for government to allow Zambians to ask the necessary questions. We would say it's not a good idea to threaten anybody who has a question contrary to the position that has been taken by government, because you govern people, and these people have opinions, these people read, these people watch, and they have all these questions. You know, the way Kenneth Kaunda used to do it, we maybe would have laughed at him, but he used to have, you know, the which we call ZANIS now, ZIS, Zambia Information Service. When Kenneth Kaunda wanted to introduce something we were not aware of, he put ZIS on the road in their Land Rovers, going across the country, educating the Zambians about that new thing they want to popularize and adopt. That's all government needs to do, even about the vaccine. You can't force people. You can't, not even God forces us. So where does government draw the power to force people when God doesn't force people? So I think we are at a place where on this aspect, this government must backpedal and start afresh. We will support it to make sure that this Omicron does not take life as we are fearing.
In other news, Patriotic Front members of Parliament walked out in Parliament on Tuesday in protest on a budget estimated of about 78 million kwacha made by Republican Vice President Mtalina Lumanga for State House operations in 2022. Mporokoso member of Parliament Brian Mundubile, who raised a point of order, stated that this move is not constitutional as it has been drawn from a repealed act. Meanwhile, speaking in Parliament, Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwimbu says the ministry has heightened security measures in Lusaka following reports of attacks on buses by bus drivers and conductors.
I want to put it on record that we are proceeding with a protest to ensure that we are not part of this illegality.
It was a heated moment in Parliament on Tuesday after Opposition Patriotic Front PF members walked out in protest and refused to debate 2022 budget estimates for State House presented by Republican Vice President Mtalina Lumanga. This was on allegations that the presentations were based on an act that was repealed from the Constitution.
In summary, it should be noted further that State House estimates operation budget for 2022 is 78,955,693 kwacha against last year's budget of 77,288,358 kwacha. Chairperson, the budget estimates before this August House will enable State House to upgrade and facilitate efficient operations of its departments, attend to personnel emoluments, dismantling of arrears, provide maintenance of State House grounds and infrastructure, transport, management and general operations.
Mporokoso member of Parliament Brian Mundubile, in raising a point of order on the matter, stated that PF members of Parliament were not willing to debate the matter on the basis that it was unconstitutional.
This has presented us with a very serious trepidation because the whole of Part 4 of the Constitution, Act number 18 of 1996, including Articles 33 and 34, were repealed and replaced with Part 7 of the Constitution Amendment Act number 2 of 2016. To the extent, therefore, that the current estimate on expenditure draws a mandate from a non-existent constitutional provision, your members on the left find themselves constrained to debate this head, because any debate or resolution passed on this will be ill-fated and unconstitutional.
These saw members from the Opposition Patriotic Front walking out in protest, and the House was adjourned for 20 minutes. Meanwhile, Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwimbu says strict measures have been put up after reports of attacks on buses by bus drivers and conductors in Lusaka.
1. Heightened foot and motorized patrols, particularly in high-prone areas. 2, enhanced intelligence information gathering. 3, undertaking various sensitization programs. And 4, engaging stakeholders on crime prevention measures. Madam Speaker, government has noted with concern that unscrupulous people are using military uniform to waylay innocent citizens. This must come to an end.
However, he says crime levels have reduced in the country in the third quarter of 2021 in comparison to the same period in 2020 and has called for calm among citizens. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Media News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. Opposition PF MPs walk out of Parliament. Stakeholders castigate government for blackmailing people to get COVID-19 vaccines. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Remember, COVID is real. Always have your mask on, avoid crowded places, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and get vaccinated. Thank you for joining. Good afternoon.